We begin with breaking news at 11 o'clock. There are explosions happening right now in Caracas, the capital of Venezuela. Video going viral on social media. They're showing powerful explosions happening in a number of places in the sprawling capital city.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Based Network. I'm your host, Israel Populum. Today we have a pretty light news day. Nothing too... Sorry, I'm getting a call. Yeah? Uh-huh. What the f***? Something happened? Guys, it's literally 7 a.m. right now, January 3rd. And I just woke up, post-goon, hop on Instagram, and I saw that America just struck Venezuela and captured Nicolás Maduro. We're going to get into it. The story is still breaking. I have a little summary here. In the early hours of January 3rd, 2026, Operation Southern Spear, which is the operation that was other attacks as well, striking boats coming in, saying that they were narco-terrorists. There's still no evidence of that. And also stealing oil tankers. I think we took around 3 oil tankers already. But to continue, Operation Southern Spear escalated into direct assault on Caracas. Starting at 2 a.m., at least 7 major explosions rocked the capital, targeting military installations like Fort Tuana and La Corrala Air Base. Do not ask me how to pronounce that. While the U.S. Special Operations helicopters were flying low over the city, by 5:21 a.m., President Trump announced via Truth Social that Nicolás Maduro and his wife has been captured by Delta forces and flown out of the country. Kill him, Benjamin Netanyahu! Kill him! I sacrificed my life!
Did you see my little boo-boo?
No, I didn't see your little boo-boo. I got my little boo-boo here. And he says 6'7". My little boo-boo says 6'7". Sorry, guys, just having a little bit of fun here, because we're, this is the state of the golden era, of Donald Trump's golden era. So, yeah, as I said, they captured Nicolás Maduro and his wife, and he's going to be held and charged. Mike Lee tweeted, I just got off the phone with Secretary of State Marco Rubio. He informed me that Nicolás Maduro has been arrested by U.S. personnel to stand trial on criminal charges in the United States, and that the kinetic action we saw tonight was deployed to protect and defend those executing arrest warrants. He, referring to Marco Rubio, anticipates no further action in Venezuela now that Maduro is in U.S. custody. No new wars. That was the mantra that this administration pushed when they entered office. That was the culture. That was the message that a lot of people supporting Trump believed in heavily. I talked about it in my previous video yesterday, which you should totally check out, by the way. Better of Two Evils right on my channel. Put a tag right here. Got him. Probably won't. Donald Trump, when he entered into office in 2016, he called out the military-industrial complex. He called out the Bushes lying to get into war. There were no weapons of mass destruction. He lied. That's a quote from Donald Trump on the debate stage in 2016. And now they're using the Maduro is the greatest narco-terrorist ever as the ploy and scheduling fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction. That is a legal term, guys. That is pretext, my friends. If you don't know what pretext is, that is the reason you give to the public in order to execute your actual goals. I'll tell you why. Because if it was about drugs, we would be going after Mexico. Okay? And I think a lot of people would probably support striking the cartel in Mexico. And then if it was also about drugs, we would be attacking China. China is the main producer of this. And it smuggles through Mexico. And they haven't proven any of the boats they exploded had drugs on it. Where's the evidence of that? They did a double tap on a couple boats, doing a war crime. Sorry, that's called a war crime. And it seems like a lot of Republicans, I wouldn't even want to say Republicans, I would say Trump first, MAGA first, instead of America first, where they say no new wars. They say, President Trump has never gotten us into a new war. And then when this happens, they follow the party line. They eat the propaganda. Because that's what it is, folks. It's propaganda. And another thing, the mental masturbation, the mental Jedi mind trick that this administration is playing here is pretty smart. They're doing the exact same Bush level of memetic, chaos magic, waving their hands around, repeating the same mantras, going, you're either with us or you're against us. This is for your safety. And then continuously getting into new wars. Now, this isn't a defense of the Maduro regime. And I'm going to keep this video quick because it is breaking news and we don't have too much extra information other than what's going on right now. But it's another point in the fact that Donald Trump is a fucking liar. He said whatever he could to get into office. He said that he was not going to be pushing for new wars. And now we're going to war in Venezuela. We just basically illegally entered their country, did ground strikes, entered in with the military, ground invasion, took Maduro, and now he's probably gonna go to jail and probably be executed in the United States. Maybe, who knows? Maybe he'll just go to jail for whatever, 30 years in Guantanamo Bay or something, and get tickled by Epstein because he's still alive and probably there. I don't know. I'm just making that up. But again, it's the wider, broader theme that we're seeing here with the Trump administration. A reflection of what they actually said versus what they're actually doing. They're going to help the economy. The economy is not good right now. We're going to have no new wars. We're going into Venezuela. And that's the first war we're going to get into. We're going to get into Iran as well. Donald Trump already struck Iranian nuclear facilities. We know Donald Trump is a puppet of Benjamin Netanyahu and does basically anything he says. We will go to war with Iran next. I'm telling you. Probably 2026, maybe 2027, but we will be in war with Iran. I'm assuming probably September of this year. At least, bare minimum. And there's widespread protests happening right now in Iran. And Donald Trump recently tweeted on Truth Social, such a corny ass name for a website, by the way, warning Iran that if they violently kill protesters, the United States will come to their rescue. Now, obviously, you know, whoa, they're killing protesters, they're killing civilians. We should go and invade, and we should stop them from doing that. You know, that's a very nice thing to say. And I obviously don't like the Iranian regime. But the problem with that is that we are America first. And all of these interventions makes America weaker. It doesn't matter what's going on in all these other countries. Sorry, I don't give a shit what's happening in Venezuela. I do not care. I care about what's happening in America. I don't give a fuck of what's happening in Iran. I care what's happening in America. I don't care if everyone wants to come and attack Israel because what they're doing in the region. I don't give a shit. I live in America. And this play of, we don't want any new wars. But the second there's pretext for any war, we're all on it. Why? Because the American people are fucking stupid. Sorry to say it like that. Sorry to say that to my fellow Americans. I hate to say that. But we are fucking stupid. We always fall into the same playbook. Weapons of mass destruction, right? Labeling fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction. Using these definitions, like terrorists, weapon of mass destruction, to build up this legal framework in order to justify invasion, when it's all pretext, it's all propaganda. I don't care how bad Maduro is. America shouldn't be interfering with other people's countries. That makes us weaker. Now, you could disagree with me, and there's discussion there, right? And I understand that discussion. But at least say it with your chest. At least say, yeah, I do love war. I love war. It increases the GDP. The military-industrial complex makes money. Politicians make money. America gets stronger. Our position, you could say all that. And we would disagree, and that's a whole conversation. I would love to have a debate with someone on this. But I think the American people have made up their mind. They're tired of these forever wars. Every time a war finishes, a new one starts. Have you ever noticed that? Have you ever noticed that? People aren't supporting Ukraine anymore. People aren't supporting Israel anymore. And now we have to look for the new war. Now we have to look for the new pretext. And when there starts being attacks in the United States, we are fully lost. We are fully lost. And I honestly, I really hate to say this, but I really think there will be. I really think there will be attacks in the United States. And that would just justify us to invade and do more ground invasions, to destabilize more countries. And then it's like, what's the goal of that? Now, again, this is basically about oil and regime change. The Venezuelan invasion. It's not about drugs. Get that out of your head. That's propaganda. That's pretext. It's about oil, because Donald Trump is scrambling in any way to lower costs, and having that sector open and lowering prices of oil would be very good for the United States economy, to allow companies to go in and drill the oil. But the problem with that is that we already have, here I can pull it up too, Chevron produces 200,000 barrels of oil a day from multiple joint ventures with Venezuelan National Oil Company, and exports its share of production to the United States refinery in the Gulf Coast. So we do have access to some Venezuelan oil. say that we have nothing, or we're completely blocking us, is not true. So it makes me assume that this is mainly about regime change. Because Maduro also went on record and said that you can have whatever you want. Let's make a deal. I just don't want to leave power. Which makes sense. He's a fucking dictator. He doesn't want to leave power. And the United States instead strikes, ground strikes, invades, and takes him out of his castle, or wherever the fuck he stays. His taco house. That's racist. I can't say that. They don't even eat tacos there. Sorry, bro. I'm from America, dude. Everything's Mexico. Everything lower is Mexico, including Brazil. Mexico. Like, sorry. I'm Brazilian, okay? I can make those racist jokes, okay? Okay? Don't be mad at me. And they're already propping up a new leader. I forgot her name already. She got the Nobel Prize. She tried to give it to Trump. It was a whole fiasco. We're literally living in a fucking cartoon. We live in cartoon world. And it's just going to keep getting worse, folks. Sorry to tell you that. Donald Trump is a Trojan horse for a lot of the worst things imaginable. Okay? He is the next Nero. Okay? He's the next Caesar. I didn't want to put him in that regard, because Caesar's based. It's about obvious regime change war. And again, you guys have to read history to know what the playbook is now. If you pay attention to the language, if you pay attention to the rhetoric, it's the same as the war in Iraq. It's the same bullshit, okay? There's a little tiny reason we invade. It's terrible. That's about it, folks. I don't want to keep this video going on too long. Donald Trump will be giving a state of addressing the United States at 11 a.m. today, January 3rd, where I'm recording this. So we'll check up then. I'll make a video probably reacting to that. And yeah, bro, keep locked in, follow, like, do all the things, boost this content, because I'm, a Sigma male, obese Sigma male, ready to hit the streets and cook in front of a camera. So let's do this. Let's do this nicely, okay, guys? Like, comment, subscribe, do all the things. I appreciate you guys watching. This is going to be a short video, but, it is what it is. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.